guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you a review of the new Colourpop The Zodiac eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be sharing swatches and how I got this eye look today using this palette. So if you guys want to know all my thoughts about the new Colourpop palette, then just keep on watching. Zodiac is Colourpop's latest eyeshadow palette in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. This is an $18 palette, has 12 shades, one shade for each zodiac sign, and you get about 6 mattes and 6 shimmer shades. Some of the mattes have a little bit of a glitter to them, but basically half and half a matte and shimmer. You can see you get a mirror, and also all the names are on the front of the palette, which I definitely appreciate. Two things that I really like lately from the Colourpop palette. So I think this is just like an overall awesome idea and theme. I know it's pretty trendy right now. Wet n Wild also just released a Zodiac theme collection, I believe. So I definitely really like the concept. And then if you guys are curious about how it compares to Dream Street or just like the color scheme, they're very different palettes in general. A lot more cool tones in the Zodiac palette, way more warm colors in Dream Street. Really no overlapping colors, like even the matte brown transition shade is pretty different. This one is a bit more warm compared to the one in Dream Street. And then maybe the Cancer and this like pinkish shimmer shade is a little similar, but still this one has more pink to it. This one's a little bit more champagne, but in general, very, very different palettes. You can even tell like the green shades in there are very different. This one's like a lot more of that like aqua green, and this one has more of that like grayish and purple tone in there. So there's really not a lot of similarities between both palettes, but let's go ahead and get into swatches, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts about the formulas and all 12 shades in this palette. So starting off with this top row, the first shade in here is the shade Aries, and this is an orange shimmer shade. Very like pretty fall color. And then the next shade is the Taurus, and this shade is a really gorgeous matte brown transition shade. I know it's just like a normal matte brown, but it blends out so beautifully, and it's really, really easy to work with. Like I find that the mattes are just getting better from Colourpop shadows. Next we have Gemini. This is my favorite shade in the palette. It's what's on my eyes today. It's such a pretty color. It has a little bit of like a green undertone, but in a very, very flattering way. It's like a cool tone gold. And then next, this shade is the Cancer. This is a pinky tone, like champagne rose color. Really easy to work with too. I've worn that on my lid as well. Those are my two favorite lid colors in the palette. Then the first shade in the second row is the Leo, and it kind of looks a little bit orange in the pan, but it definitely goes on like a light peachy shade when I wear this as a lid color. And then the next shade is the Virgo, which is a really cool tone matte brown color, really deep color. It's what's all in my inner or outer corner today. Then we have the shade the Libra, which is like a light mauve matte color that goes really nicely with all of the purple tones in the palette. And then lastly, in the second row, my favorite shade, just because I am a Scorpio, the Scorpio, this is a shimmer purple color. So it's not foiled like some of the other shimmer shades, but I really like this color for like an outer corner, just to like deepen up an eye look. Next up, we have the shade Sagittarius, which is a matte plum color, very pigmented, really easy to build up as well. Really like that shade. And then next we have the shade the Capricorn, which is a black that has glitter in it, and it swatches with a lot of glitter. Like you guys can probably tell a little bit of that glitter reflect, but when you apply it to the eye, the glitter basically fades a lot. And then next we have the shade the Aquarius, which is a matte blue, and this is the one that is the weakest shade in the palette, like super, super subtle. I'm gonna build it up a little bit more, but every time I've swatched it, it just kind of turns into nothing. Like it really is more of a powdery shade compared to the rest of the mattes, which is unfortunate because that's like a really pretty blue color. And then the last one too is more of a like a chunkier shimmer shade. This is the Pisces. So it's definitely a lot more of a chunky, glittery texture compared to the rest of the shimmer shadows. So those are all 12 shades. Definitely a good mix of like cool tones and warm tones. You basically have like a whole warm tone section and then some cool tones and colors in there too. And then this eye look is something I'm gonna be doing like all the time from now on because really like this color combination. So let's go ahead into this tutorial so you guys can see how I got this look using the Zodiac palette. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the shade, the Taurus, and this is gonna be my first transition shade. This is kind of like a warm medium brown. It's like a very ideal transition shade for me. And the mattes in here are definitely very pigmented. I can build them up right away without any patchiness, which of course is ideal, but I just find that it like goes on really smooth. I feel like Colourpop shadows just kind of keep getting better and like more consistent. And then next I'm gonna add in a little bit of this cool tone brown. This is the Virgo. I don't wanna add too much because it is very cool. And I'm also just mostly packing this on to the outer third of my eye. I don't wanna get my crease to be too dark, just add a little bit of dimension. Next I'm going into the shade, the Gemini, and my brush is wet, but this shadow alone is like super foiled metallic. This is probably my favorite metallic shade or shimmer shade in the palette because it just looks so foiled. The shade definitely gives off like a liquid eyeshadow vibe. Like it's very intense metallic, which is really awesome. I love shadows like that. And then I'm just gonna mix in a little bit of Taurus, and mostly Taurus, and then just a tiny bit of Virgo to give me a little bit of depth on the outside of my eye. So I'm just packing on the color with a pencil brush in the outer edge of my eye, and then I'm just gonna diffuse it out, probably with a small fluffy brush. So I'm just using a Morphe M433. It has like a little bit of a flat edge just to diffuse out that color and carry it into my crease. So I like to use the metallic shadow stick in Cashmere from Girlactic as my eyeliner. I know it looks a little like harsh right now, but I'm going to smoke it out a little bit with the eyeshadow in Taurus. Taurus is basically like the main event in this eye look. Very simple, neutral look, but I also filmed a purpley look for Instagram, so check that out on Instagram. I'll probably post it today or tomorrow, the same day that this video is up. But I just want to smoke out the lower lash line a little bit, just using that same pencil brush. But this is the completed look. I'm going to toss on these Cocoa lashes in Misha. They're the lashes I wear every time I'm wearing lashes, basically. I'm gonna toss those on and then finish up with this review. So this is the completed look with this palette, and I actually really love this look. I know it's just like a gold kind of smoky eye, but the thing is with gold eyeshadows, like I usually stick to coppers or champagnes or rose golds because sometimes golds can just pull like way too yellow. So I really like the shade Gemini because it has that like kind of greenish hint, but it's like very subtle. I just really like that shade. I think it looks like very pretty. So I was actually surprised when I got this palette and started playing with it that you can do like very wearable eye looks with it, because I was a little like overwhelmed when I first saw it in photos because I would just see like the purple shades, the cool tones, and then the green color that I kind of like missed over this whole bottom section. But you can definitely do like really quick 2-3 minute eye looks, like very wearable daytime looks with this palette, in case you guys are curious, because I was just thinking I would wear this mostly as like a colorful palette. So I'm glad that I could use it for both for sure. So definitely keep that in mind if you guys thought the same thing with like all the cool tones in there. I don't even think it's like so many cool tones, but because I'm so used to seeing so many warm tone palettes, I'm just like, oh my gosh, too many cool tones for me because I'm not a cool tone eyeshadow person. So overall, I am really happy with the palette, really happy with the formula. I do really like that there's like a mix of like really warm tone browns and oranges and golds, and then also a bunch of purple tones, because those are kind of like the two like neutral tones that I gravitate towards, are like subtle purples and then just like warm up browns. So I didn't really realize that when I was first looking at the palette, but once I was creating looks with it, that's just like what I gravitate towards, and I really enjoy that. Of course, I wish that the blues in here were a lot more pigmented and just more yeah, more pigmented and easier to blend out. I definitely prefer the blue tones in the Mar palette and the Dream Street palette. I like the blues in there a lot better, but other than that, really enjoy all the other shades in here. I also really like that they included a mirror and the names on the front of the packaging. It just elevates the packaging a little bit more. And then I'm also actually wearing one of the lipsticks from the collection. This is the lipstick in What's Your Sign. This is $7. It's a cream formula. Really, really like this shade. I've been wearing it for 4 days straight. I love it. Like, I've been really, really into this lipstick since I got it. I just have been wearing it nonstop, honestly. And it is a cream formula. It does transfer, but I rarely find lipsticks that, even though they transfer, like, it still is, the color is still on my lips. Like, it's still stained on my lips. So if I eat and drink, it's not gonna wear down all weird. Like, the color is still there, so I don't really need to reapply it. Very, very comfortable, very hydrating formula, but it doesn't like move around on its own, only if you're like really like eating and drinking. So the What's Your Sign lipstick is the only other product I have from this collection, but I definitely have been enjoying it a lot. It's really opaque and creamy and pigmented, and it feels like very hydrating on your lips, which I really, really love, especially for a $7 lipstick, but it feels like a lot more high-end than that. And then also Colourpop sent me a discount code you guys can use on their website. The code is Natalie5. You get $5 off your Colourpop order on orders over $10. And I think it lasts for the next 30 days, so probably like the rest of August. It's just Natalie5. I'm almost 100% sure this is not an affiliate code. I just got this in the mail. So you guys can use that if you want to save $5 off your Colourpop order. Alright guys, so that is everything for today's video. Definitely let me know if you picked up the Zodiac palette in the comments down below, or if you picked up anything from the Zodiac collection in the comments. Let me know how you like it, if you picked out any other products, especially those liquid shadows. I'm really curious about those. So let me know if you guys try those out in the comments. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.